Greetings, Earthlings.
Warning, the following program contains strong black first opinion about mature and strong subject matter that affects black America and the diaspora as a whole. Listen at your own risk, you sissy.
Grand Rising All, you are listening to the one and only The One or None. Good morning from Africatown, Los Angeles. Okay, the house with the nation members, Kathy B. Go follow her. Mind Games Uncut
Peace, peace, peace.
Hello.
and Black Love 17.
Hello.
So the subject here is, it's a lot of, I'm gonna just say there's a lot of controversy going out around because Black people are becoming mentally independent of their own, and they're not just voting blue no matter who. Some of them are flipping red to get tangibles instead. So what
Those
do
are
we
bars.
do?
That's a rhyme
Yeah.
right there, bars.
Yes, because we've been voting Democrat for umpteen years, and we all know the message that LB Lyndon B. Johnson said. He gonna have these Negroes voting Democrats for the next 200 years. So how did we went from being black Republicans to blue Democrats, and we just found out the Democrats, some of them that was running the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, were paying the KKK leaders to incite fear in us so that we can keep running to the Democrats who have did nothing but run our communities in the ground by flooding our communities with opportunities for immigrants and leaving us out. We have been tricked, bamboozled, hoodwinked, and run amok. So it's time for us to make some changes. Now, we put on there where you have some people, I'm pretty sure y'all know the Chicago Red, the ladies that's going against so-called the Democratic ran mayor, Brandon Johnson, I think that's his name, and he's been making them go broke by taking care of the immigrants. And then what he has done is he put his high tax on their houses and stuff, and most of the black people are paying the highest taxes while the white side of the Chicago is paying like about 80% lower taxes. Nobody is talking about that. And then you have the Philly people flip Philly red. And I'm gonna just play this little clip real quick, and then we're gonna get into
This
it.
is Democrat President LBJ.
One moment. I'm gonna put up the disclaimer. You know how YouTube do. So this is a disclaimer. Everything we play, say, or share is for educational purposes only, entertainment, for teaching, research. This is the fair use copyright statute. And so I'm going to play this, as I said, and this comes from Philly Red. And he was giving a speech. I have some more videos, but
This is Democrat President LBJ said, I'm going to have these voting Democrat for the next 200 years. But you can change that in November. Stacey Garrity for governor.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you. Excuse me. Please don't use that language in these chambers. Have a wonderful day.
Racist Democrat President LBJ said, I'm going to have these voting Democrat for the next 200 years. But you can change that in November. Stacey Garrity for governor.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you. Excuse me. Please don't use that language in these chambers. Have a wonderful day.
That you see how he was telling the truth, but see the black judge, this is what I'm saying. We have black people in white places that only care about themselves and looking good in front of white people, because what he said was the truth. She didn't mention anything else. We're not going to use that language when you hear the N word everywhere. Now I land my plane. D Mays, you came up with the topic. What you got to say about this?
Oh yeah, that brother. He's the he's the founder of Flip Philly Red, because the original Flip Chicago Red was the trendsetters, and now you got they both working together. But anyway, yeah, that brother, yeah, he got a lot of good videos, man. He be coming with the receipts, and like you said, why you get mad when we say it all the time? Because he's telling the truth and stuff. But I really think it's a big shift now, not just with them. Now they rock, of course they rock Republican, but they have a valid point, especially with Flip Chicago Red, because they taking a lot of black people homes. The Democrats taking a lot of black people homes in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And you got Dana C. and what's the sister name, Zoe, and all them, and they've been they running for office. Actually, Dana C. is running for mayor of Chicago. See, they really doing. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're gonna come at them, you better take them seats, and that's what they're doing. They're going to all the city council meetings, they're going to all the, all the meetings they need to be at, and they got a lot of support, man. I'm like, I follow them on Facebook. People are supporting them all over the country, and then, like you said, that's what they need to do: infiltrate the Republican Party, take over, and have demands. You know what I'm saying? Because we tried it with the Democrats, it didn't work. 60 years is way too long. Hell, 30 years, 20, 30 years too damn long. But like you said, I guess now black folks are breaking away from, not feeling like we disrespecting our elders and our grandparents and parents and stuff like that. A lot of black people stuck to it so long because they didn't want to, show respect for their elders and they, family and grandmamas and stuff like that. So I think that's what now you even got some of the older people walking away. You know what I'm saying? They start to see it, especially those so-called black Christians. Because if you're a real Christian, you won't be engaging in no transgender type of, rainbow mafia type stuff. And you'd be about the nuclear family. So I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of black people are walking away from the Democratic Party. And I even told people, I said, don't be surprised. Y'all thinking because y'all telling them go vote. I know everybody's Facebook page, y'all got all your friends, family members like, yeah, I did my part. But I told people, I said, y'all thinking all black people are voting Democrat, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll just see what the outcome be. I guess they vote in y'all areas today, right? And I know they had the other one in November.
Yeah, they vote in here, and that's what the problem here, because they got the same. They have a man named Tommy Tuberville. He's a Florida resident, and he just got the okay to run for governor here in Alabama because he has a house in Alabama. And then they have the black guy. There's some black people running here, but there's a young black guy. His name is Jamel Brown, and he doesn't fit the narrative, and they make jokes. And I mean, he wild, but yet he's been fighting in the streets since he's been 16 years old, out there in the streets, went for gun violence, helping people and stuff. And everybody have a nickname for him. They were calling him Pickle Booty and all this other stuff. And everybody because he's
Pickle Booty.
Yeah, he's doing the damn thing.
Oh,
I mean, he smoked his weed. He was somehow freeing the non-violent people who was in jail, legalizing marijuana, bringing the lottery. That's what we need. And black people say, y'all a fool if y'all vote for him because he a joke. Well, we got Trump in office. So how come when it comes down to black people, y'all want them to look and act a certain way when he's representing you and he's saying the things that needs to be said? But they want to make jokes about everything. As black people, we joke about everything, but yet they laughing at him. But yet when you go to his background, he's been in the streets. He goes to meetings and board meetings and chair meetings, and I mean he's there. And like he said, they don't like him being hood that he is, but he's from the environment that he's representing, and he's been there when. He's always out in the community. So I don't care what he does personally. I hope he wins, because we need to start seeing ourselves in places, because this is us. If he's from the hood and he's doing hood things, at least he got from the hood and got into these people's faces, and he's putting his money up and he's running. And our people are making jokes of it, like he's going to split the vote and he's going to do this. There's other people. You want to vote for the black woman. I think her name is Yolanda Flowers. Nothing wrong with her, but she didn't have an agenda for nobody. black. You know how like these black people, they get in office and they run off of white agendas wanting black votes. And then when somebody coming to you, them real, they have a problem with it. But I hope he wins today, or I hope he at least shows up.
What his war chest looking like?
Huh?
What his war chest looking like? I mean, money. Like, do he? Because that money going.
He's been going out. He's been going viral for other stuff, and he's been going viral, and he's been out there. Now a lot of young people say they're voting for him. They were like, he's young. We tired of these old white people and these old black people with ways, black ways. The black people coming in there, praise the Lord, everybody. We just got to do right. And no, I don't think about marijuana. And they still trying to please the white people. And then you got the old white people who coming with their old white shit. So, vote for your own people for a change. Give yourself a change. They were like, he gonna run Alabama to the ground. Alabama already to the ground. They the lowest uneducated damn state on the map.
What's his name?
His name is Jamel Brown.
Like 30 years behind.
Brown?
Jamel Brown. Yeah, Alabama. Yeah. Alabama about 30.
Is he Democrat?
100 years behind, and they talking about he gonna run Alabama to the ground when they just took over.
Is he Democrat or Republican?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Democrat or Republican?
I think so, because I think he's running Democrat because he was already, in the political field. Not no other.
And he has no immigrants in his background.
So you got 6 people, huh?
And he has no immigrants in his background because we know that they proved to be a problem already.
No, he's from the hood where we from. No, he's a young black boy from the hood. He's a young, been in the hood always. He's 30 something now, and he's been there. And I mean, but the young people want to vote for him and stuff like that. And but they like the mid-age people talk about no this and that. But it's 6 people running Democrat, and that's Tommy Field, and he's the only Republican. And why I tell black people, y'all crying and complaining, go over to the Republican Party and run. But black people are so stuck on names that you don't even see it. The Republican Party can't do nothing for me. It can get black people elected if you go over there and get rid of both of the parties and just go ahead and run Republican, because they done got rid of all your little.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't think that we should run.
Trump
I didn't think it because I'm a Democrat. He was.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't think about us. He was. I was thinking that if we do it, we should do independent.
No.
Why does nobody ever want to do independent?
But you had to recruit. Well, yeah, but
you
the
can't
thing
do
is,
primary voting. You can't primary vote.
Like I say about the war chest,
yeah,
you got to have a big war chest. Then they need somebody like a George Soros that really gonna fund them and some celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like people with money throw a couple $1 million. They kind of get it. That's why it's only really 2 parties. But the independent party can disrupt either party, especially the Democrats, like they did with the pretty much independence. The FBA destroyed Kamala Harris. That's why she didn't win.
It needs to. Yeah. Independent needs to.
Every party.
Yeah, that's the type of power we have.
And stop letting them divide the votes and stuff. And then, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm ready to play this.
Okay.
Let me ask a quick question. Did y'all see the YouTube channel called The Black Party? They're trying to start that up.
No, send us the link in the in the text.
That involves technology.
It's real quick.
I'm Alonte McCauley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red.
My bad. I don't know why it's making me do this. Hold on. Let me do.
We're here to offer you something different because you've been voting Democrat.
Every play. I'm sorry, y'all. It was just
for the mayor's office for the past 70 years. You got guys, every single one of you, violated my First Amendment 2 weeks ago when y'all cut my mic short. When we talk about ICE, when 78 million people, 7 swing states, including Pennsylvania, we voted for this. In regards to the SAVE Act, this is not a partisan situation. 84% of Americans approve of the SAVE Act. I would like to ask Philadelphia, are you tired of voting Democrat?
Dang. Well, y'all, it's freezing.
We're
And he was
outside
cooking
of the
too.
office of District Attorney Larry Krasner.
I
What's this
know.
platform?
I know. Let me see if I can get it back up. Yeah.
Yeah, if
was
we don't need
playing
the
just
video,
fine. Can y'all hear it?
if you can get it without the video, no, not now.
We heard it. We heard it when it wasn't stopping. Yes.
Okay, give me a minute. Hey, let me play it from my phone and y'all can hear it versus the video.
Okay.
I had
Thank
some of
you.
them. I'll talk for 1 minute while I pull it up.
So I don't know what's going on with the Black Party, but if they're trying to start something new, I don't know who all is going to get involved, but something has to be done.
Hey, I'm gonna play something by She Way, Flip Chicago Red. Jessica Jackson, their sister, she's one of the leaders of the Flip Chicago Red. And I will say, they talk about black women saving the Democratic Party, black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. No, black women starting to become seem like the backbone of the Republican Party. And Flip Chicago Red with Dana C, Zoe, and Jessica Jackson. Listen to her. She's at one of the city council meet. She goes in. Y'all ready? All right. Go.
Okay.
Reality is this: black people's voting is not in danger, and you know it's not. And you know it's not. I'm 63 years old. I've been voting since I was 18. I have never had a problem voting. Now, that may apply to my mother and father. It applies to my grandparents. Surely it does. And in fact, because it does, every single person in this room, including that Jewish lady that just got up and talked, need to really be thanking us. Really need to be thanking us for getting y'all the right to vote, for getting y'all the right to be here, instead of sitting up here manipulating the Voting Rights Act like something's getting ready to happen to our right to vote, when you know that's not true. So now you all gonna drag black people in here, definitely some senior citizens, and gonna have them come up here and talk about how they scared to vote, how this messed up their right to vote, women need to vote, all that junk, when you know it's not true. Just like you sit up here and make like black people can't get IDs. Us requiring IDs to vote, it's gonna stop black people from voting. Why black people ain't got IDs? See, you all get more and more ridiculous. But you can't, in this room, full of these black people, talk about that federal case that just got filed Monday that's talking about how you all are stealing property at Cook County sales. Where the black people in here? Raise your hand that if they told you to come in here to talk about how your property got stolen. Where you at? Huh? Because we got commissioners in here that know for a fact it's happening. Catskill, you know it's happening. Lori, you know it's happening. Michael Scott, you know it's happening. Lamont Williams, come on, you give up cases for the county. You know it's happening. Donna Miller, you know what's happening. Well, come on, y'all black people that they done send here with these 501c3s, that they got y'all in here talking for them. Why y'all ain't in here talking about how they stealing our property? 1 minute. Where y'all at? Come on, because y'all getting ready to come up here to this mic and lie for the cameras to say that black people's voting is done by this Louisiana thing and Donald Trump and the Trump administration, when Donald Trump is in front of the Supreme Court right now, fighting for the 14th Amendment, saying that black people, that amendment was for black people. 30 seconds. Not for birthrights, not for people to anchor themselves over here illegally. And they got y'all black people in here getting ready to talk against him. I mean, y'all real sick up in the head. You're sick in the head and more sicker in your spirit. This is insane.
Time is expired for the
Hey, she cooked, bro. Hey, she telling the truth. Hey, that's
She did, and she named names. I'm glad she pointed them all out.
Oh, they
I like
sure.
them.
They running for office. See her and Dana Cena, they running for office, man. Yeah. See, Dana Cena's an entrepreneur, so she got her money back in too. So yeah, man, they taking black people property in Chicago. Black people. Now these are black Democrats. Brandon Johnson, all of them approving this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, they calling them out. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, the white folks up there back in Chicago, flip Chicago, you giving them money, like, yeah, you know, get them out of there. So yeah, sometimes all your allies ain't gonna be black, unfortunately. I mean, yeah.
What would the Republican Party look like if a lot of black people wanted to be candidates? That's a question.
Well, like I said, you'll get white people to support you because they all about that, you know, especially that nuclear family. They come to that transgender stuff. How you gonna win them over that whole transgender and LGBT stuff? That's you gonna win them over on that.
The Republican Party likes to staunchly think that they're white. So when a lot of black people are becoming candidates, how is it going to look for the rest of America, the other side? What they going to do besides go crazy?
Yeah.
But I say let's do it.
Hell yeah. What we been doing is you got to change it up, man.
You got to think. I was telling the people on my post, they playing chess and we playing checkers. Oh, why the Democratic Party can't do nothing for me? It sure can. And they couldn't do nothing for Trump. And y'all call him dumb, a balloon, buffoon, or orange, a racist. But it got him elected because he switched from Democrat to the Republican just like that. If one black person, if they would have thought in Alabama, there's one, we don't understand voting. There's one man running for the Republican Party. That vote is not going to be split. So he most likely going to win because of the way it's set up. But if one of them black people would have went to the Republican Party and ran against him, you might have a chance. But we don't think that way. We don't understand how to play the game of chess. We play in the game of feelings. Feelings don't feed you. Feelings ain't got you nowhere but in the hood. Feelings ain't got us nothing but a train full of guns and a bucket full of cocaine and drugs dumped in our neighborhoods. And all we do is lay down and pray.
We don't need the cocaine, but we can work out the guns some kind of way.
No,
anyway, this is looking good.
Guns and drugs is affecting our neighborhood.
I know how they got there. I know, but this is I didn't think about that. Us running as Republicans. When you kept saying vote differently, I kept thinking independent. But now you got to tell your people, the older people, vote Republican, but get somebody you know who's a black American to run as a Republican, so for you to vote for them. I didn't see past it. Very good.
Yeah, vote
that's a good
Republican.
point.
Let me play this. See if y'all can hear it.
This black Republican from Philly absolutely destroyed Democrats.
My name is John Alante McGauley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red. We're here to offer you something different because you've been voting Democrat for the mayor's office for the past 70 years. In regards to bill number 250330, or what's part of the Safe Healthy Homes Act, I would like to ask Philadelphia, are you tired of voting Democrat yet? This is what communism looks like. You work extremely hard to save your pennies, but buy some property and you can't dictate when you want to evict the tenant. Do you really own your property or not? But we know what Philly Democrat politicians love communism for, because they let Comrade Mayor Sherrell Parker raise the communist China flag in the birthplace of America. Tenants can already sue or simply move if it's a problem, but laws after laws scare away independent contractors and create more government-controlled housing. These laws breed entitlement, bad actors not paying rent, waiting for court dates, squatting on somebody else's property, just like Governor Josh Shapiro is doing right now to his neighbors. To the landlords of Philadelphia, when you raise the rents higher up front to cover eviction hassles, I'll understand it. How are you going to tell a small business owner what to do with their own property? How many bad tenants have we seen? Always playing loud music, fighting and harassing neighbors, running drugs out of properties, doing drugs in someone else's property, or you're a small business owner or a caretaker, or their tenants or are they your children. If the Department of Licenses and Inspections isn't serving good acting tenants properly, then we don't need new laws. We need to restructure the Department of Licenses and Inspections. Over 45 million taxpayer dollars proposed for L&I in fiscal year 2026, and they can't return a phone call. Racist Democrat President LBJ said, I'm going to have voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
He's just talking about things that what we have to understand is that as Democrats, we think of only the Democrats that's in Congress, but we don't think about the everyday Democrats in our local elections, the ones that's in your governor, your mayors, your commissioners. Those are the ones that's dictating your state. Those are the ones that's allocating the resources that come from the federal government down to you, that's going to everybody but you. See, we don't really want to admit these things that's going on with us because we only told vote Democrat no matter who. Let me, I'm going to play this, another one against Brandon Johnson. Hold on.
Making sense.
He's talking about, yes, this one is talking about how
New York includes everything. So if Chicago were including the same thing as New York, Chicago would actually be in a much worse shape if the school districts were included.
And certainly we cover CPS as a separate body of government. We know their financial struggles are significant. Okay.
This all started with one move, an executive order from Brandon Johnson aimed directly at Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So the order didn't just criticize ICE. It didn't just posture. It put Chicago police right in the middle. It told local officers to document federal agents, to preserve evidence, to prepare cases. In other words, it asked city cops to stand between armed federal agents and a political agenda. This is not symbolic. This is very dangerous. Police immediately understood what this meant. One bad call, one misunderstanding, one heated moment, and suddenly local police officers are facing federal charges or even worse. So this wasn't about immigration enforcement. This was about using police as props.
Johnson says the federal government needs to be held accountable as Chicago braces for more immigration enforcement this spring.
No matter what the vice president or the president says, there's no such thing as absolute immunity in America.
In a new executive order signed today called ICE on Notice, federal agents could be criminally charged if they violate the local or state law in the future or in the past, like during Operation Midway Blitz. It starts with the Chicago Police Department, who would document evidence, preserve it, and talk with federal supervising officers on scene. Chicago Police would take all of this to the mayor.
It will give a directive from my office to ensure that we're collecting evidence, that we're providing medical care on scenes, but also making sure that that evidence is turned over for prosecution.
I'd love to ask you, do you plan on enforcing the mask ban, on federal agents if that's what you're doing?
Yeah, that when you take a step back from that, that's the issue of the day. The reality of one armed agency approaching another armed agency to create conflict over something that would be a misdemeanor at best or an infraction, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a good public policy decision, and it wasn't well thought out in my opinion.
Over the weekend, the mayor said his executive order had the full support of O'Neill Burke, but she posted on social media that was not true. The mayor's team said they had received feedback from Burke's office. Her team says that's also not true. In a statement, the state's attorney's office noted the fracturing relationship between law enforcement and the public in the wake of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The office said in part, during this fraught atmosphere, the mayor of Chicago issued an executive order and falsely claimed that the Cook County State's Attorney's Office reviewed and supported his order. The office was not provided with a copy of the executive order until it was released to the public.
New York includes.
Okay, I don't know if y'all understood what was going on, so let me break it down. Now y'all heard throughout the video, executive order, right? The difference is that Mayor Brandon Johnson, a black man, was writing executive orders executive orders don't just come from the president. Your governor of your state is the president of your state, and they can write executive orders. He was writing executive orders to tell the police to fight against the federal police. So he was creating a police war on war. Now, them same executive orders could be written for you and me. So he was basically using the city police to fight against the federal police to protect illegal immigrants. You get what was going on in there? He wrote an executive order. How come there is no executive orders ever written to stop the police from unaliving Black people?
Exactly.
Why he wrote executive orders giving money to illegal immigrants. So when you see what's going on with all this stuff, it lets you know that whatever they do for illegal immigrants can be done for you. I'm gonna play this one right here about giving the city of Philadelphia. Okay, this is the city of Philadelphia, and how they made jobs for how Brandon, I think this is Chicago. I think this is how he made jobs for them. Listen to this.
2025, nearly 100 workers in the Chicago Department of Public Health received layoff notices. So Brandon Johnson, he promised not to lay anybody off. But while Brandon Johnson, while he's laying off workers secretly and not telling anyone, let's see something. So Brandon Johnson makes $221,000 a year, okay? His chief of staff, Christina Zayas, she makes $211,000 a year. Okay, that's almost what Brandon Johnson makes. All right, so Brandon Johnson, he created 2 jobs, right? And through executive orders. One of these jobs was in 2023, and this job was for Beatrice Post de Leon. So he created a job for her and made her deputy mayor of migrant, immigrant, and refugee rights. And she get paid $189,000 a year. And this job was created July 2023 through executive order. So he created this job for her for the illegal aliens. This was around 2023, when they started coming here to Chicago. So he created this job for her that we are paying for illegal aliens, to make sure their house, to take care of them, to make sure they get free everything. And she's getting paid $189,000 a year for that. Now, what's the other job he created through executive order? The other one was Sandy Soto. He made her Chicago's first chief of homelessness officer. Now she's making $150,000 a year. And he created this job October the 20th, 2023 through executive orders. Now, Sandy Soto was the lady that I contact about the homeless people that I talked to and still talking to. And she didn't even get back to me. So for the Chicago citizens, she's not caring what happens to them because they're laying on the ground. But for illegal aliens, they're being housed, they're being given apartments, and we're paying for it. So we are paying for her job, which she get paid $150,000 a year, and she was the first chief of homeless officer that Brandon Johnson appointed. So all of these salaries, and we know that the aldermen, they voted to give themselves a raise. So you are creating 6-figure jobs while laying regular citizens off. People who need those jobs, people who are not making these salaries, and these jobs can be, why do we have these jobs? We don't need nobody who's a deputy mayor who's getting $189,000 to take care of illegal aliens, to make sure they're housed and have free everything. Why is this job here? And you are laying off American jobs, the citizens, Chicago citizens. And this Sandy Soto, she don't do anything. So why do she have this 6-figure job? And Brandon Johnson, your chief of staff, is making what, almost as much as Brandon Johnson, which his salary is $221,000 a year.
That was just an example of the executive order. And this black man, if you listen to her, he created these jobs, and these people who have these jobs are legal immigrants who are appointed to help take care of illegal immigrants while the black people are suffering. And this lets you know executive orders can be created by your governors, your mayors, and your president. And when we have black people like Brandon Johnson, as you were saying earlier, D. Mays, that we need to regroup. The problem is we put black people in office and we cheer black people in office that we think going to take care of us, and they're out here doing the opposite. I'm going to play one more and then that'll be it.
Percent of the smoke shops that sell weed, fentanyl-laced weed, and some of them are selling pills right now. They are illegal immigrants coming from Arab countries like Jordan, Yemen, and other Arab countries. Illegal immigrants. They are not documented. They are not legal. They are not paying taxes. You have a smoke shop on Germantown Avenue in Shelton right now that is clocking $10,000 a day tax-free off illegal goods that we have been incarcerated for decades and still get incarcerated for selling. But because they can come here illegally, open up a business and sell these goods, our public officials who are 99% Democrat says we do not care. We're going to lock you up if you sell it, but we won't lock them up. We'll continue to let them operate their business, and we're going to create laws that says ICE out so they can't get sent back to their country. If that is not a traitor to me, every single city council member and the mayor should be arrested, or at least they should put their resignation in. Look at the city of Philadelphia.
So we're talking about, I just had some friends here in Alabama.
I agree with everything he said.
I just had some friends in Alabama just died yesterday, the day before yesterday, because of things put in their drugs. I don't care if they do drugs. Every grown person has a right to do what they want, but they don't have a right to be targeted. And then they found people on the street because, like I said, I've had other friends die of fentanyl poisoning. And even if they smoke weed, the fentanyl is getting in from illegal immigrants. And then I had someone on my damn post talking about, you sound like a MAGA talking points, talking about illegal immigrants. Nobody's illegal. Then take your black ass to another person's country with nothing and tell them, and you should have all the benefits of their country. I'm tired of that BS. As I said, we need to vote. If we're going to vote, you need to vote on the party that has the majority of votes. Now that black people have been ran out of Democratic Party, why cry? Jasmine Crockett, why are you crying? Go fucking run Republican. If you're so good at your job as a black person and you're really here for black people and you know you can get black people support, then go run Republican. Because no matter if you're a good person, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you would get the vote. But the problem is the Democrats is like a sunflower, as I said. A sunflower, you plant them next to your real crops so you can attract the bugs to that crop. They are sunflower. They want us to attract our votes over there while the racism and the real racists in power grow and grow while we're over here eating on the alternative, the fake plan. If you are Democrat, you can't run Republican. If they took all the districts and stuff and all this mess, then go run. If you are saying what black people want to hear, then we will vote for you. You should be able to go to either party. It's not about the party. It's about what you need to give to your people. And I land my plane.
I kind of think it's about the party because majority of the people who vote red happen to be white. I just want to know what is
That's
going to
because
happen.
that's because they weren't gonna go where the black folks at. The majority of people who were red was black at first. Them the same people. They just
Right.
switched. They switched parties on them. My thing is, if no matter what party you in, whether you're a Republican, we getting caught up in the party. Right now, we need to go to the party that got the most seats, so you can get the right person in. If you are here for the people, whether you're Republican or Democrat, then no matter what party you run for, you would get the vote. If you are a Republican and they put up Republican up there and say, hey, I know black people have been done wrong. I know you've been asking for tangibles. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Would you not vote for them? They are playing us with colors. The same red and blue colors that they put us in the streets with games. Ain't it the red?
You're going in and out. You all the way out right now.
It cut off.
Oh, I thought it was just her phone.
She still her phone. Yeah, she's still on though.
Yeah, we don't hear you.
My phone, my internet was acting up. But yes, I just want to say we're going to get up out of here. They playing us with colors. They play us on the street. They unalive each other with the blue and the red, the Crips and the Bloods. Then they play us in the political party. It's not about colors. It's about people doing right in office so that you can do right by the people who need you.
Exactly.
The most. Who need the most help. And immigrants don't need more help than the people who are already here. To say an immigrant needs more help to us is a slap in the face, like we put ourselves in the ghetto. There was no such thing called the ghettos and stuff until the Democrats made it.
Exactly.
We don't want to admit that. What year did we become from Republicans to Democrats? How did we get tricked? Lyndon B. Johnson, let's start there.
Yep, he said it.
So what we need to do is stop crying over them redoing the seats. They only win most of them win because most white people vote Republican and stuff. And most white people, we ain't had nobody come over to the black side because a lot of black people who run Republican, they don't get a lot of votes because black people are stuck on, oh no, you're Republican, so I'm a vote Democrat. Let's stop playing with each other's future and let's talk real. And like I said, I land my plane. That's all.
Okay, that makes sense.
Do y'all have anything else to say before?
Oh no, you pretty much you cooked on that. I want to see if it's gonna be tonight at the 7 o'clock. We'll see how everything go.
Yeah, maybe we can get back in and kind of do an update, and then those black people, whoever don't win, what we got to do is prepare ourselves for elections, because how they don't make these local elections as important as the presidential election, and they have everybody Trump. Trump is not affecting you locally. Your governors are, your mayors are. Because if you don't do what the president said, the only thing you're not going to get is federal funding. But you pay taxes. You pay city and local taxes. So we have to get a black super PAC together, and we're going to have to change the chessboard.
Exactly.
That does have to happen.
Yep. You're right. So like I said, we got to get people in office. You know what I'm saying? You got to get people in office. If you don't, but first thing, start on the local level first. You know what I'm saying? Learn about your local politics first and your candidate. That's how we did when we got certain people in office to push the programs and stuff. Because like I say, you know, that's how it work. They go council. They do city councilmen first, then they move up. Probably like in the like maybe what is that, Congress? In the Congress in your state, then they move up into the Senate. Then they get into, you know. But you in the Senate, you know you tied in like Warnock and all them people. But yeah, we need to have classes, workshops and stuff to teach our kids about how that thing work. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And we just got to start teaching it on these podcasts. We got to stop just talking about the P. Diddy and the local news, and we got to start making our people pay attention. We need things in school because they're not teaching our kids to vote and be independent in school. We need to start looking into a lot of homeschooling, and our churches need to be safe places where people can come and have mass homeschooling. The church can be used as homeschool. Just because you homeschool don't mean you have to be at home. We're not learning like these people. These people pull their kids out of school and they have homeschooling communities and stuff like that while our kids are being indoctrinated.
Exactly.
I'm looking for one.
There's some online. I'll send you some. There's some online. I mean, even Q Butter. You can get into his homeschooling. I think if your child, they got online schools, and then
That's what I want to do, but my daughter doesn't want to do. I already talked to Q Butter.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, a lot of us as parents don't want to do it because we busy and you don't know the curriculum. But this is where the church come in. The mothers of the church, the deacons and stuff, nonprofits who line up and help the parents homeschool. So mind you, you can go to make, because they be thinking about lunch and all that. Imagine, I'm just saying, putting it out there in the universe. Imagine you get together in your community and then you have these churches that's in the community as a base. You giving your tithes, you going to church every day, and your church ain't doing nothing but selling you hope. Well, let's get some lunch. You feed them at lunchtime if you worried about it, and let them kids come in church about 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 to 3, or whatever time the parent get off. You know, the parent might have to pay a little bit extra or whatever, so that they, you know, because of the schedule, some people use school as daycare and food. So imagine you start getting the churches to do what the churches is supposed to do, is take care of their people as they say God told them to, and start hosting some of these homeschooling kids, come in there, set up the computers, go ahead, and instead of buying jets and planes and automobiles and red bottoms and all these suits, have the desks and the pews and have the kids with some computers, and everybody that's homeschooled can come in there, and then some of the volunteers can help them with their homework, because the homeschooling is already going to teach you, but you need somebody there for them to ask a question or to back it up or to make sure that they got some support there. It's kind of like a teacher, but not a teacher. You taking the parent place, y'all rotate. We got to start restructuring our communities or we're not going to go nowhere, because prayer is not the only thing that it can be done.
Exactly.
That's true.
But we're going to get up out of here.
Oh, it was a good one, y'all. We will definitely continue it.
Yes, let's continue this conversation.
Yeah, I hope you two guys win tonight, your candidates.
We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll jump on. If you up, D Mays, put in the chat and we could just jump on real quick for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, and then have these another discussion later on.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thank you for listening, guys.
Thank you, guys. Peace.